Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf, the voice of Transformers Collectors Club Australia. This is episode 41. We are recording live on December the 5th, 2015. I'm Jason, and joining me tonight
is Bill.
There we go.
Audio blowout.
Not anymore. You've upgraded your equipment. You've got a much better microphone with you this week. It didn't blow out.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I've just signed a sponsorship deal, as I believe you have too, Mr. Murray.
Long ago.
Yes. This broadcast brought to you by Yeti.
Yes. Well, actually, Blue
Yeti. Sorry, I've just lost the deal. Oh, crap.
It's actually really confusing. So yeah, we are both using Blue Yetis. There is actually no sponsorship money involved. We've just gone out and paid for very expensive microphones.
Absolutely. And don't we sound sexy?
Oh yeah, we sound good. We sound good, don't we? Yeah.
So
anyway, it is just the two of us this week.
You and I.
So everyone's quite busy. We've actually had a lot of trouble scheduling everyone for the podcast this week, and so we've decided it's Saturday night. We're both being boring, sitting at home drinking.
Guess who doesn't have a social life?
That would be me. Actually, I have a social life. I've gotten to this weekend and I've just gone, oh my God, my social life has been way too much and I need to sit at home and not do much.
I can honestly say, my social life is non-existent.
Well, so this is normally the part of the podcast where I would ask what you've been up to this week.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything that you'd like to tell us about?
Work. More work. It's Christmas. This is the silly season.
Yeah, no, the silly season does generally lead to crazy hours. I had a bit of fun today. So I just want to point out and say hi to TCCA member Will Mottram, who is a mate of mine. He's also been on the podcast a couple of times as well. Usually sitting upstairs using my laptop while I use the computer downstairs, so we have some audio isolation. I spent today in Parramatta at Myer in the Westfield, in their Westfield. I was going to say shopping town, but no one calls them shopping town anymore.
Shopping town?
Yeah, you've never called Westfield centres shopping towns here?
No.
Really? Okay. This is probably a Melbourne thing because I grew up in Melbourne.
Mexican.
Sorry. Anyway, I spent today walking around in Westfield and Parramatta dressed as Optimus Prime. And
you actually look pretty good, hey?
I think it was pretty good. I actually have had the costume for quite a while. I got it a couple of years ago for a work Christmas party. And it has actually just been sitting in a bag in the cupboard ever since. Because when do you have pause or whatever? When do you actually have a reason to use an Optimus Prime costume?
Do you need one?
Sort of.
Shame on you.
No, so I actually sort of do because I got to say, it's the costume. I think I bought it from an online costume shop a couple of years ago. I saw it in the list and I was looking for a television related costume at the time. And I was like, yes, that's totally me. The costume's okay. It looks pretty good all put together, but I think I need to make a few adjustments to it just to make it sit a little bit better on me. But yeah, no, quite enjoyed it. So I basically spent today. I've spent today trying to get in touch with people through the language of mime, because the problem with the costume is that it's got these 4 pieces of plastic that fit around your head and your face, and you really can't move your mouth in it.
Wow, okay.
There's no ventilation in it, so you just start sweating. And it's really not built for people with large heads like me.
Yeah.
So basically the plastic where they've cut the hole in the plastic for the eyes, those are pressed right up against your face.
Your cheekbones.
Yeah,
underneath your eye sockets.
Yeah, underneath your eye and above, it's pressed right onto your eyebrow. And so,
did you have the mad 2 little marks?
Yeah. I had these really deep marks, and because it was a fairly warm day in Sydney today, I also had just sweat pouring down inside the mask.
Yeah.
But then I realized no one could actually see that, so I was like, well, that's okay. I can internalize that problem.
Yeah.
The bigger thing for me was trying to engage with people when I couldn't speak and I also couldn't hear. And so the only thing I could really do was just mime to people. And so I would find families walking past with kids and I'd just be like the crazy man just waving to them. And it was interesting to see the point at which the kids are too old to respond to
Optimus Prime.
Excuse me. Too old to respond to a crazy man waving at them. Do you know speaking of crazy things, the crazy thing is that I got photos taken of me with people, but I would say by and large, the majority of them were like kids under 5.
Right.
Which I actually would have expected, given that it is a G1 Optimus Prime costume, I would have actually expected it to be a lot of older people. Someone from the Vodafone stores and people from the local Just Cuts store, like they were all sort of heading to work and they're like, oh my God, this is happening. And so they've got a few photos taken with us. But yeah, so by the time the podcast hits, PopCon will have been and gone. So there's not really that much point talking about it yet. I would like to get Will on to talk about it soon because it is actually going to be a weekly, not a weekly. It's going to be a monthly thing. It's
very good.
It's not necessarily always going to be the first weekend of the month. Because like that would be kind of suicidal in January, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to get Will on to talk about it, and we'll see.
Fantastic.
We'll see how they go. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same venue every month, but this month is at the Parramatta PCYC.
PCYC, that's right. Yeah,
and I suspect it'll be the same place for a while. We'll see. Have to see what the turnout's like. So it being Saturday night as we record this, I'm going to head down there tomorrow, being Sunday, and see how they go.
Fantastic.
Anyway, now that we're like 10 minutes into the podcast, so we should do a little bit of admin work. So Off the Shelf is the podcast for Transformers Collectors Club Australia. The TCCA website is transformerscca.com, and it's there that you'll find links to the Facebook group, the YouTube channel, Twitter page, and of course the podcast, which you are listening to now. The podcast is also on iTunes, so if you're listening and you like us, please head over there and give us a review. The link is on the website and in the show notes, and the podcast also hits YouTube in video form. Ooh. So you can see the items that we talk about on the show, and I do apologise in advance if you are currently watching this on YouTube and you've been subjected to photographs of me dressed as Optimus Prime.
That's all the photos.
We'll see how that goes. The link to the YouTube channel, if you're not already on it, is on the TCCA site and in the show notes. I like that we actually have a site for TCCA now, because now instead of constantly referring to the show notes, we can just say things are on the site.
On the site?
Yeah.
That's very good. We're moving up in the world, man.
We are. We are.
It's only taken us, 41 episodes, but we're getting there.
Yeah, this is true, but that's okay. So look, let's move on to community news. If you are an Australian listener, you can become a paid and proud member of the club for just $5. Send a private message to Brad Oztron Prime in the Facebook group. Our fearless leader is not here tonight because he's attending the Christmas party at Pleasant Surprises in Eltham in Victoria.
Melbourne.
Melbourne. He's in Melbourne. He's with all the Melburnians.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's those Melburnians.
Yeah, like totally, dude. Like at Pleasant Surprises.
Yeah. Okay, that's enough plugging for Pleasant Surprises, I think. We'll see how that goes later.
If we don't get a check in a week, I tell you.
I know, right? Yeah. Okay, so anyway, send Brad a message or send him a message on the TCCA website to get your membership underway.
Yeah, just spam the crap out of him. Just send him messages regardless.
Just send him a message by any way possible.
Doesn't matter.
Including smoke signals.
Mail. Yeah. Just send him messages.
So the membership fees do go to the purchase of raffle prizes, participation at conventions like Supernova and maybe PopCon in the future, and more. And this is normally the point at which I would hand over to Brad, but he's...
I'll do it.
Go. Yep. Brad, can you give us a member count update, please?
Thanks, Jason. This week, Paid and Proud... Oh, God, I even cocked it up like him. Paid and Proud... Paid and Proud member count. We are sitting at 165, and our social member count is at a healthy 1,468. Back to you, Jason.
Thank you, and thank you for that live cross to the tally counting room. Yeah. I'm normally the one that does that, so that's good. Thank you. So just on the membership fees, raffle prizes, things like that. We actually do have the Christmas giveaway is currently live. I believe there's one more week to go. By the time the podcast gets out, there'll be a few more days to go at least.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not in this, you can get into it by sending a $5 donation Brad's way for one ticket in the giveaway. There's a lot of information floating around on the group about this. I think Brad said the other day that there's a little under 300 tickets sold. So given that, and given that we know the so the prizes, there's a prize that is DX09 Tyrant and Carry together.
Yeah.
That's one prize.
Wow.
MP29 Shockwave is another prize. MP28 Hot Rods is another.
Tracks
is another.
Goldbug.
Goldbug. And the reissue Skylinks.
Yep.
And the Covenant of Primus. They're
Great
also
read.
tickets. And if we get to 400 tickets, then Brad's putting the G1 reissue Fort Max on the table as well.
Wow.
Now, given that we're at 300 tickets, if you haven't actually, we're not actually at 300 tickets yet, if you were to go out and buy a few tickets, there's actually, I would say you stand a pretty good chance of, getting one of these prizes.
Absolutely. I mean, just look at the prizes.
Yeah.
Goldbug, Tracks, Hot Rod, Skylinks, Shockwave, Tyrant and Carry.
Put those guys both together. It's
Amazing value. $5. Seriously.
There are also smaller prizes that I think we would call these lucky door prizes that you get just for entering. I guess we'll get more information about those sort of as we get to the prize draw. But there's Combine Wars Legends and Robots in Disguise Deluxe figures there.
Yeah.
And I think Brad said that someone had donated a couple of extra figures for the lucky door prizes today as well.
Awesome.
See?
Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty. Not today. This week.
No, this week.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about YouTube. Kai McFly has 2 reviews this week. He's been busy. Firstly, he reviewed X Transbots' Andrus, which is the Masterpiece style Scourge. It's also, I believe it's their second figure. It's their follow-up to Apollyon.
Yeah.
Apollyon kind of created a frenzy. Scourge, I kind of feel, hasn't really created a frenzy. It's just sort of, people are just sort of like, yeah, he's released.
He's a very kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not polarizing, but
I think it's divisive.
Yeah, some people are like, oh my god, it's the best thing since sliced bread, and other people are like,
I just want to point out he has a poo emoji in his chest.
He does, and I just really, really, really want someone to put that on DX9 Carry's chest and have him hover over it and take a photo. Someone please do that.
So, the second review from Kai this week is Takara's MP11 Thundercracker, the Masterpiece Thundercracker. Now, that one...
Have you got yourself one of those yet?
I do, actually. Well, I don't yet, no. I do, but I don't.
Oh, how so?
So, when this was first announced as a Takara Tomy Mall exclusive...
Right.
Which it never ended up being an exclusive to Takara Tomy Mall.
It never is, man.
Yeah. No, it never is. We've learned this now.
Yeah.
So when this was first announced as an exclusive, there was a quote on the site saying that they haven't decided about a subsequent non-Takara Tomy Mall release,
right?
Which is not entirely true, but that's fine. Some of the Australian retailers were trying to get guaranteed stock of this guy, and it didn't happen until sort of a week or two later, I think. So. On the day, we know that Takara Tomy Mall sold out within about 3 hours of their...
Yeah, that's right.
I think they had 20,000, or was it 2,000?
2,000.
2,000 figures allotted. Now, I know... So, I'm fortunate enough to work in a workplace where there are people who speak other languages. So, a friend of mine who could speak Japanese... helped me out by signing me up for a website called Tenso.com, which is a freight forwarder from Japan. And sort of the same way that you use Com Gateway if you want to get things from the US. And then she also helped me decipher exactly what the hell was going on in the Takara Tomy Mall order process. Which you would think would be easy, but As it turns out, Japanese addresses are really difficult.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you actually, like, I know you order from
I've
HLJ.
I've had experiences with Japanese addresses, and some of them are just like, can I say what the fuck?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously makes sense, but like, because we are so used to,
Street,
Jason and
suburb,
Bill,
postcode.
1 Smith Street,
Yeah.
TCC A-Town, but then they've got their prefectures, I think, and all the rest of it, and...
You know what the crazy thing is?
What's that?
She had to put my name in Japanese.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I had... No, so this is the thing. The crazy thing is that she put my name in Japanese, and anytime I take this and translate it back to English, the name comes out as, and I shit you not, like Jason Murray. I have no idea how this works. Clearly I don't know how Japanese works because I can't speak it.
Yeah.
So long story short, it's not that short. Long story short, I managed to get an MP11 Thundercracker or two from Takara Tomy Moore. Though I believe one of those is yours actually.
Well, thank you, good sir. I'm blushing.
So those are winging their way to us from Takara. However, what that also means is that we don't get the coin.
I think coins are overrated, man. How do you feel about them?
I want the coin.
You want the coin?
I want the coin. Anyway, so I believe Premium Collectibles, they managed to get stock that has the coin. Those come from Hasbro Asia. So there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk in the last couple of weeks because MP11 Ramjet is now up for order as well, and people are saying because they've missed out on the Premium Collectibles pre-order, people are saying no, don't worry, it'll go on wide release Asia wide. That was the Asia wide release. So
it'll pop up again eventually.
See, it's gonna go the same way as the MP11 Skywarp.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a rare figure, and they're going to command a price premium, which is exactly the same thing that happened to the iGear Seekers, isn't it?
But the thing is, look, I mean, Hasbro yet to release their version, and now they've got the mold happening. No, as in Hasbro US. Sorry, but
that's going to take fucking ages. So
but that's what I meant. I would rather wait a year than pay out of the arse for a Seeker.
But Hasbro already released the MP11 mold as Thundercracker.
No. As the new release, like in the new system, you know how they've got from Soundwave goes all the way through their new numbering system.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So now that they've got access to these new molds, like you will get it, but maybe that's just me.
No, so I wonder if they're going to release like one Seeker a year along with. I mean, Hasbro's fairly far behind Takara on their.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Takara have tripled there. What are they up to? Number 30 with Shockwave, aren't they?
Shockwave is 29. Is 30 Ratchet? Yeah, I think so.
Ratchet is 30. But and what's Hasbro done? I think they're up to 7 or 8 with their new release.
Yeah, and then
throw in the old Walmart ones, and so that'd probably be 10, 12 figures. The various MPs. Yeah, so
they're so far behind. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've co-opted the YouTube review section to talk a little bit about ordering from Japan. So if you are planning on ordering something from a Japanese site that doesn't ship to Australia, you can get Tenso. There are other freight forwarders as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Tenso seems to have been fairly pain free for me. So yeah.
Well, hopefully the end result is good.
Hopefully, I am hoping quietly that this turns up on Monday, possibly Tuesday. So if that's the case, maybe we might be able to catch up and hang out next week, because I believe you have a couple of figures for me too.
Yeah, Slipstream's one. Jet. Oh, look, a bit of a segue into the new.
Let's talk a little bit about Jetfire.
Was
Jetfire.
Fire.
Yeah. So the 2014 Leader Class Jetfire has turned up in the Reject shop of all places at the rock bottom price of $20.
What a bargain!
That is one hell of a bargain. It's caused a bit of a rush on the stores Australia-wide, and it's caused a little bit of consternation on the group this week as member after member after member after member posted that they'd managed to find the figure at their local store, and some also weren't that impressed with the figure. And some people, I also found this hilarious later on, is that as we sort of got later in the week, people continued to post that they'd found Jetfire for $20.
Yeah.
And people who don't check the group every day were commenting going, where is it? Where did you find this for $20? And I think half of them were trolling, and half of them just genuinely didn't know.
Oh, I mean, I can only imagine what that would have looked like, just a feed of Jetfires.
I know. I did make the joke during the week that the reject shop should actually now be the number one VIP on the group, because they seem to have many satisfied customers this week.
Absolutely. They're good like that, but aren't they? Like, towards the end of a run, or they find some old stock, some warehouse stock somewhere, or they strike up a deal. And
so we talked about this, I think, last time I saw you, which was a couple of months ago. I think we talked about
Penrith, wasn't it? We're in Penrith, I think.
Yeah, I think we ended up in Parramatta as well, didn't we?
Yeah. We did the rounds.
Because we had heard that the reject shop had been selling imported, unsold stock from overseas. Now, whether that's actually the States or not, there's it's not like this figure has disappeared from Australian shelves.
No, because Toys R Us still has them, I believe.
Yep, they still have them, and they're still priced at $70. So they're still, that's actually kind of about the standard Toys R Us price for things now. It's like if something is $20, it'll be $70 at Toys R Us.
Well, I mean, that's the standard. What was Target selling their leader class Megatrons for? $90?
Yeah, I believe 90 is actually the RRP for Combiner Wars leader class.
Yes.
I think 90 was actually the RRP for Jetfire, but I think 70 is what it settled at.
Yeah.
I think when I got mine, because Will got mine, and I think it was 60 at the time.
I think I got mine through Amazon for about $50 delivered. This is months ago, though.
And when I was up in Singapore earlier in the year, they were going for $35.
Yeah.
I think I got Brad one, and then at that point too. So
yeah.
So I do have a Jetfire. You've got a second one for me, and I'm thinking of painting this one and trying my hand at customizing stuff.
Give it a go.
I may try something. I was going to say I might try something a little cheaper, but what the hell? It's $20.
It's $20. What is it? What $20? Pack of smokes.
Apparently, a pack of smokes is actually about $1,000 now.
Oh yeah, $12 US. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, the Reject shop is not a shop you would normally expect to see Transformers in, but this has actually been changing this year because they've got a lot of Age of Extinction figures in because they didn't sell, but they also got the 30th anniversary figures as well. Those little tiny ones that.
The little inch ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been around for a while, actually. I think even Games Traders or EB Games had them.
Yeah, I think so.
Their name escapes me now. There was I know the ones that we're talking about. They're the little plastic blobby type ones.
Yeah.
They came in packs of 3, yeah.
Yeah, some of them are in packs of 3. Others are just in individual packs.
Yeah.
They've also got Jurassic World figures in the Reject shop as well. So, I think they've also got Star Wars Black.
They do. They have the 6-inch black.
Yeah. So
Paul's series figures for $20. So obviously, someone in the Reject Shop head office has struck up a very good working relationship with someone at Hasbro Australia.
Well, it must be Hasbro because they're all Hasbro properties, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all Hasbro properties. So good on them. Good on them.
So, is the Reject Shop becoming something we need to actually keep an eye on and actually visit when we pass through a centre now? Cause
I do once a week, Jason.
What?
I actually, I work in a centre where there's a Reject Shop down the road. So once a week, I'll toddle on down during lunch and have a peek. And you'd be surprised what you find there, They've actually got deals with Mattel too. They're selling the Hot Wheels licensed cars, like the Star Treks and the Supermans and the Star Wars bits and pieces like that.
Yeah, actually, I got some Hot Wheels cars from there a little while ago as well.
Yeah. But not the little average ones you can find at Big W and Target. The big ones that are on the thicker card, the really good looking ones.
Yeah,
they sell for about $3 to $6. Yeah, so good on them.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
I like it. And There was, I think, when we were in Penrith, it was Age of Extinction, wasn't it? Or
Yeah,
was
they just started getting Age of Extinction characters, and I think Age of Extinction is still going. Like, I think they've got a whole bunch of new Age of Extinction figures now as well.
And I think last year it was Dark of the Moon. Or was it the year before when they had them for sale for $10 too?
Actually, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they had that last year, or the last movie at the tail end when all the stores were putting their stuff on clearance. Reject Shop got theirs in along the same time, I think. Remember when Big W had their Prime and Dark of the Moon figures for sale for $10?
Yeah.
Yeah, around that time. So they both have obviously scored some stock from somewhere. But it's no different. It's no different to Toymate selling Whirl and Rhinox for $20.
Well, yeah, and that's a deal that's going on at some Toymate stores at the moment. So, I think Will had a speculation on this a while ago, which was that places like I think Toy World and Toymate both end up with cheap figures.
Yeah.
He reckons that they see new figures coming out and they stock up big on them. And then they don't sell them, and then they stick them in a warehouse for a year, and then they bring them back dirt cheap. But I mean, these guys still have to be selling these things at a price where they're making money on them.
Yeah,
which
that's
puts
right.
their buy price somewhere below $20. But if they can get rid of that stock and make $1 or $2 on it, then so be it.
So the only thing I would ask about that is, like, I mean, they've got no objection selling the Combiner Wars figures at full retail price when they come up. You know what I mean? So to put the stock away, look, maybe they do. Maybe Hasbro. I mean, look, you got to think, Jason. It's not like one shop. Like Toymates are around the country, so these guys would have to get pallets and pallets of the stuff. So
they would have to, yeah.
Yeah. So where's that stuff coming from? Do they have an overseas supplier that as soon as it gets announced, they get them on the cheap? Who knows how it exactly all works? But
if you know how the toy retailing market works, please drop us a line on the TCCA website.
Because
we would love to know, because we've spent 41 episodes speculating on it. It would be nice to have some facts.
That's right. Thank you.
All right.
Speaking of new toys, Warrior Class Wave 6.
For Robots in Disguise.
Oh. Why not?
Fair enough. Yeah.
I suppose we better go through it.
Yeah, all right, let's go through it. So TFW 2005 pointed out this week that Wave 6 is actually just two figures. It's Thunderhoof and Quillfire for Warrior class figures for RID, and there's also a repaint of Drift. So fair enough.
I quite like Thunderhoof. I've got the TAV version, the little one-step size one. But these have got a Quillfire. Which one was Quillfire? I haven't been following the show forever.
So this was actually my question. Do you still follow the show?
No, I just haven't had the time. I just feel I've watched the first season. Like, I'll just be honest, and I downloaded it. And I just
how far through the first season are you?
I've watched all the first season. I know the name Quillfire sounds very familiar.
Okay.
Or is that the next one?
Maybe it's the next. I don't know.
Wow, sorry to all the RID fans out there.
So tell me, because from looking at the figures that have been coming out, like, it looked like they're heading more towards traditional Transformers territories with like Decepticons with vehicle modes turning up. Like, I know there's. So tell me, because I don't know this. What is Megatronus in RID? He's supposed to be like an ancient, super powerful Decepticon, isn't he?
I guess so. He wasn't in any of the episodes I watched. So.
Are you sure you finished the first season? Because I heard he turns up at the end of the first season.
I think I watched. Was there 13 episodes?
No, I think it was like 25 or something.
Oh, okay.
First season, my ass.
Well, first season, like, there was, I don't know. You know what I mean? Seasons only go for like 13 episodes or so, don't they?
No, for Transformers cartoons, they're often like 20 or so.
I don't know. That's how long it's been since I've actually watched an episode. So I think I'm at 13 or 15 somewhere.
Okay, so season 1.
Season 1, episode 25.
26 episodes.
Hang on, just keep talking. I'm going to see if we can make a Megatronus.
Yeah, that's all right. That's okay. Let's not worry about that too much. Although, hello, there's a Wikipedia article here that mentions. Okay, so Robots in Disguise does mention the 13.
Okay. So they're playing on that again.
Yeah, so Megatronus is one of the original primes of Cybertron, who turned his back on the others and later became the first Decepticon. So,
wow, where have we heard that before?
Robots in Disguise is kind of trampling on Transformers lore, but
that's an original concept.
Yes, yeah, I guess every series and or set of series needs to work out their own.
But come on! Does he have a girlfriend that he kills too? Like, come on!
My favourite part of the write up for Megatronus on Wikipedia, it says he is of no relation to Megatron, despite his name being used as Megatron's former name before the war for Cybertron. Great. Thanks, guys. It's clear as mud. So so Megatronus appears to turn into a tank. And so he appears to have escaped his imprisonment and turned up on Earth. So now there's a super powerful Decepticon in Robots in Disguise. Thanks, guys. Really
but we all know Prime's just going to come back and kill him and everyone's going to be home in time for cornflakes.
Yeah, indeed. Cornflakes. Cornflakes sounds good.
Yeah, Total Recall reference there.
I totally didn't get it. For Robots in Disguise is like the re-emergence of like more powerful Decepticons with vehicle modes a welcome change. Like, does it make you a little bit more excited about the series?
I quite actually like the Decepticons as animals, to be honest.
I kind of don't. I don't at all.
I do. It's something unique. Like, it beats the old days where there were planes and tanks and guns and.
It gets a bit of a meh from me.
Yeah.
Speaking of other things that get a meh from me, Triptykon.
Yeah.
Triptykon was the winner of Hasbro's fans' choice vote to decide the next Titan class toy.
And when's that coming?
2017. So let me be clear. I'm happy that Triptykon won.
Yep.
I'm even happier that I've not spent $400 on the current version of Triptykon, which is the G1 reissue. Like, they've literally reissued a toy that's 30 years old and charged $400 for it.
Oh, but that. Come on, man! Like that's Toys R Us prices.
Yeah, it totally is Toys R Us prices. Now, so Triptykon is going to get a brand new Titan class rendition. So, despite fan names in years gone by, the only current Titan class figure is actually Metroplex. Devastator is not a Titan class figure. No, he's just a combiner. He's just a big combiner.
He's coming out late 2017.
Yeah, 2017 is ridiculous. Like,
that's third quarter 2017.
So that's actually 2 years.
That's 2 years away.
That's actually, I think Hasbro's actually taken the mantle from all of the third-party companies ever for announcing something way in advance of its final release.
Well, I suppose it makes sense if they were indeed listening to what the fans wanted, and the design prototype.
It does, yeah.
It does take a while. Plus, you got to remember, it's a movie year too, 2016. Was it 2017?
No, I think 2016 might be a movie. Oh, yeah. No, 2016 can't be a movie year.
No, because that's Titan Wars.
No, but they haven't actually filmed. Like, they haven't got a script. They haven't started filming yet. They can't.
2017.
It'll be 2017.
Yeah, so to balance it with that and the movie coming out, so yeah, I can see why it would take a while.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think it must mean that they hadn't actually started. We had speculated that they'd started on all three figures, and we were simply going to decide the order in which they released.
Yeah.
They released, and maybe we still are. I mean,
I think that's what they're doing. I think honestly, in 2 years, they're gonna pump out all these designs and planning and blah blah blah, and then go, hey, you guys chose Triptykon first. Yeah, decide who comes next, and Mega Supreme, and then he'll be out in 3 months.
Yeah, very possibly. So, I mean, let's talk a little bit about lead times on Transformers figures, right? Like, we tend to assume that companies like Hasbro and Takara can get a figure from design or prototype to production really fast. It's not necessarily the case.
No.
We've also seen that we've seen that Victorion, which is the fan voted combiner from, it was announced at San Diego Comic-Con in 2015 this year, midway through the year. She's not coming out till next year. She's not coming out until midway through next year. So they literally announced this toy at San Diego Comic-Con, and she's not going to be released until like the next San Diego Comic-Con.
Which is odd, considering it's all repaints.
That is the part that's odd, because you would think that if something is actually just a repaint, that they would be able to.
Oh,
put it
well, I
together.
stand corrected. She's got new heels and fists, doesn't she?
Yes, this is true, and we have seen how difficult it is for Perfect Effect to get their replacements out. So
it's just such a hassle.
Yeah, maybe designing feet and hands are actually difficult. I don't know.
Oh, mate, it's hard.
Either way, it's a really long time to wait. And we also, what Hasbro's inadvertently done is they've let slip that there's not going to be any Titan class figures next year. Because
apart from Fortress Maximus.
Well, is Fort Max confirmed? Because they've actually said that Triptykon is going to be the next Titan class figure.
Well, they're leading into Combiner Wars Fortress Maximus. We saw the prototypes, didn't we?
I don't know. I thought.
Or was that just? Do you still think? I don't know. Part of me thinks that's just some kind of fan Photoshop running wild on the internet.
It could be. There's also this thing where the leaders in Titan's Return have base modes, and I wonder if some of the base modes have actually, because there's been all these weird silhouettes and low res images, and I wonder if someone's confused one of the existing base modes with Fort Max. Oh, I'm actually sorry. No, I do know what you're talking about. There was a Fort Max. There was a Fort Max slide.
Yeah,
that got released. Now,
the only thing with that was it was still labelled as Titan Wars, which I've been incorrectly referring to this time. And it should have been Titans Returns, I think.
And so that's the thing that makes people think that slide is actually fan speculation. Unless here's the thing. Here's my thoughts on Titan Wars versus Titans Return. Titans have to return before they can have a war. So Hasbro said that they showed the Titan Wars name by mistake.
Yeah,
and they've also said that the Wars part is actually going to be a 3-part trilogy. So my assumption is that we've got Combiner Wars, then we're going to get Titans Return, and then we're going to get Titan Wars, which could mean that Titan Wars is going to be 2017.
Quite possibly.
Which would actually gel quite nicely with getting a few Titan series.
Which would open the door for Max and Scorponok and all the rest.
Yeah.
Triptykon, sorry.
So, if that actually is the case, then if all 3 of those figures do come out, then we will have 2 Autobot and 2 Decepticon Titans. So.
But Fort Max was just an extensive repaint and retool of Metroplex anyway, wasn't he?
We did hear that this would be happening, but that rumour does appear to have sort of died off a little bit. Yeah, I'd be interested to know what the rumour mongers say about Fort Max now, because this, the wording from Hasbro may have been just a bit careless. Like maybe they do have a Titan figure coming up, and we're just deciding the next one. But we'll see. Maybe. Well, at least we've decided who comes first. Triptykon. So Triptykon's coming first. He's going to be 2 years away. Basically, come episode 150 of the podcast,
because that's another. It literally is like 100 weeks away.
Yeah, that's going to be that long.
I remember back in episode 41, young man.
Yeah. We'll just have to.
What other news from thy yonder do you bring, Jason?
News from yonder. I also bring pictures of Combiner Wars Skylynx, and so Skylynx has his own set of limbs that's not out yet. So someone's taken Skylynx and combined him with Battlecore Optimus Prime's limbs to make what they've referred to as Skyrain, but is actually not Skyrain. No, because Skylynx comes with Hound, Smokescreen, Trailbreaker, and the Jack of Wheel. Oh, and yeah, I was going to say I thought Wheeljack was somewhere in Combiner Wars. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what we've got, though, is a look at how Skylynx forms the torso for Skyrain, because he is the first new Voyager figure that we've seen for a while in Combiner Wars. And so, he is actually a brand new figure. So, yeah, interesting to see how the torso combines. Interesting to see the figure itself. What are your thoughts on the figure? Like, is it a
as a standalone figure? I don't mind it, but it's one of those. It's like Dinobots. Skylynx shouldn't combine.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
You know what? I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
Wait for the. I reckon we'll see Abominus soon.
There is some thought that Skylynx can form the basis, or a remold of Skylynx can form the basis for both
Hunger.
For Hunger and who's the Piranacon torso?
Snaptrap.
And Snaptrap, yeah. So yeah, we will see how that goes. I don't think he's a bad rendition of the G1 character. Like,
no, not at all.
He's pretty good in that. He's a more up to date version. He can move his head around a little bit more, and he'll be a little bit more agile than the original Skylynx was,
which was just a brick with walking legs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his neck had articulation, but man, his tail. The G1 figure was quite a big figure, actually.
He was one of the larger G1 figures, and so he's sort of come down to Voyager size for Combiner Wars. But yeah,
I can definitely see some beast modes coming out of this bad boy.
I think so too. And given that we've seen quite an extensive amount of, I mean, it's no longer just a repaint thing with
no.
It's no longer just a repaint thing with Combiner Wars figures. Like, they often get remolded, which, in days gone by, we may have actually let a lot of the remolds go as new characters. But these days, Hasbro is actually being fairly upfront with us and actually telling us that they're remolding characters into new characters, and so we sort of tend to put it in with the repaint issue.
Yeah. I mean, I think they've got their what's the Technobot's leader name? Scattershot.
Scattershot. Yep, he's already out. No
Can't wait to get him
yet.
Oh, they're at BotCon. Nose cone, his ram horn.
I thought they weren't actually the actual Combiner Wars figures. Are they actually?
No, they are. God, I can't even talk anymore. The BotCon Tripredicus box set.
Tripredicus, yeah.
Yeah, will be. Yeah, exactly. Repaints.
All right, let's move on. We've got Skylynx and Skyrain out of the way. No telling quite how someone got their hands on that figure, because it isn't actually officially out yet. I think it is coming out in this wave, though. And we did actually see on TCCA today someone got their hands on Combaticons. So,
they've already been out, man. I've got mine. You've
got yours already?
Yeah, shipped them from Bibitus.
Do feel free to post pictures of the boxes.
Yes. Here's some boxes. Still waiting on Onslaught, though.
Yeah, no one seems to have the official release of Onslaught yet.
No.
Yeah.
God, that Defensor looks good, doesn't it?
Let's move on and talk about Defensor. So we've got some in-hand images of Unite Warriors Defensor, which Takara releases the Combiner Wars under their Unite Warriors brand, and they only release the whole things as sets. So you don't go in and buy yourself a deluxe Voyager and and they also don't go for the the additional Legends figure as well.
No.
But the notable thing about Takara's Unite Warriors Defensor is that there's actually a brand new mold in there.
Afterburner. Oh wait, no. I'll be remolded into a Technobot.
He will be remolded into a Technobot. You bet. So Takara has an actual motorbike for Groove. Now, what was Groove in the So that's right. Groove
in the G1.
No. Groove in Hasbro's Combiner Wars is a Legends scale figure, and they introduced Rook into the Protector bots. So they still kept Groove around, but they didn't have him as an actual limb. And so because the Legends application's gone in Takara's set, so Rook is gone as well.
Yeah, Rook for you, buddy.
No Rook.
No Rook for you.
No Rookie. So anyway, this is actually the first time we've seen a brand new Combiner Wars figure. He's a deluxe motorbike. What are your thoughts? There's a couple of good photos of him.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah, and no doubt we'll see another quote Hasbro exclusive. Quote.
You reckon this is going to go the same way as Quickslinger and Breakneck?
Yeah, for sure. You got to remember, like, these Combiner Wars are catering for the 30-year-olds plus with the disposable incomes that grew up on this stuff.
Yeah. So the thing is that with that, like, Hasbro got on top of that pretty fast with Superion and Menasor and said, right, we're going to release this figure as an exclusive. They made that big bullshit song and dance about how they're going to make it exclusive to little toy shops so that you'd have to go and visit your little neighborhood toy store with the creepy old man behind the counter who doesn't like kids but seems to be running a business for the hell of it.
Yeah.
And they said that you're going to have to go there to buy these figures because they're not going to sell them to big chains.
They ended up on Amazon exclusives. Yeah, and Big Bad Toy Store.
So Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store. Apparently, the shelves in Singapore were just overflowing.
Yeah, they were
these
clogged.
2 figures. So
they were clogged.
Thanks, Hasbro.
Yeah.
But
never believe a word they say, mate.
No, not at all. But to my point about that though is that they got on this really fast with Quickslinger and Breakneck, and they said, right, these figures are coming out. They're going to be coming out in like 3 months' time, not 2 years' time. 3 months' time, and they're going to be exclusive to these areas, which they were never exclusive to anyway.
No. And I think once Superion was released, they started that, didn't they? Although Defensor's been out for a while, so
Defensor has been out.
If they were going to make a move, they should have done it by now, hey? Who knows?
So Quickslinger and Breakneck actually made it out before the Unite Warriors sets that contained them as well. So if they're going to do it, they're really dragging their heels on it. And
maybe they're
not. Maybe they're not.
Maybe they're not. Who knows? Maybe they are.
So if they were going to do it, what are they going to call the figure? Hey, here's Defensor with Groove and Groove.
Oh, they'll probably give him some, some far out name like Jive or something like that.
Yeah, Disco Bob.
Disco Bob, or something. But like Quickslinger, really? Come on.
Well, Quickslinger was kind of a stupid name, wasn't it?
Yeah, I kept calling him Shitslinger for the longest time.
It's quite accurate.
Yeah,
you should feel no shame on that.
No, and what's this other thing I see about Galvatronus? Speaking of Unite Warriors.
So, Galvatronus was the first of these combiners in Combiner Wars that didn't really make much sense. It didn't have an official designation. Like, it wasn't a combiner team. And they wrote this stupid backstory where he has like mental powers and he can force other combiners' limbs to join up with him.
Yeah.
Apparently every combiner in Combiner Wars has these weird mental powers because they are all compatible with each other.
Wow.
Just not sure if you guys know that.
No.
But yeah,
so try it one day though.
Well, actually, so on that, did you see the photo that came out this week with? Actually, I'm not sure you did. I may have seen this in another chat somewhere with the white Battle Core Optimus Prime. And four rooks as limbs.
No, that would look rather interesting though.
It looked freaking impressive and incredible. I'm going to actually, I know where I saw the photo now. It was in one of my WhatsApp chats with the. So there are a few Singaporean guys on TCCA, and
you gotta call in some favors.
No. Many of them are my friends, and we have a WhatsApp chat that goes on in the background, and so. Sometimes I confuse things as being on TCCA when they're actually in the WhatsApp chat. So
okay, yep.
I will take that figure. I'll take that picture from the WhatsApp chat and stick it on TCCA. It will be up by the time this podcast gets out there.
Nice.
So yeah, all white figure. This is actually starting to become a thing with people purchasing Voyager torsos and then purchasing 4 of the same limb.
Well, uniformity. I dig that.
Exactly. Yeah, uniformity. Like especially with the white Battle Core Prime and also with Motormaster being black, they tend to go with a lot of the bright colours really well
because they're neutral. So.
Yeah, they're quite neutral. I don't think I don't know how well it would work with Hotspot. You would have to choose a limb that complements the baby blue for Hotspot. But
There's not much really out there, really, is there? Blue.
I mean, you could use the dark blue of Mirage.
You could, or dark blue. What's a white limb? You could use a first aids, I guess.
Yeah, well, Rook's a white limb as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. Aid.
Yeah. That was a door slamming in my apartment complex somewhere. Sorry about that noise. So anyway, there is some speculation that so Cyclonus is not yet released in Japan. And so when they release Cyclonus, they're going to release him in a box set as a torso for Galvatronus.
Yep.
Now, what's apparently been going on? So Takara Tomy Moore released a picture of these combiners, and it looks like there's a few changes to some of them. So they've done a repaint on Rook, it seems, and that he now resembles Demolisher.
Yeah, I can see the beige and the off-white and the yeah.
And I think Cyclonus is actually grey.
And I can't make out who that green one on his left arm's supposed to. This photo I'm looking at is really pixelated.
It is a terrible photo, yeah. But yeah,
I can see Starscream though. That much is obvious.
Yeah,
his right arm.
Yeah, you reckon his right arm's Starscream? Okay.
Yeah, well, the red chest, light blue.
That would actually make sense, and it also goes back to one of the other things that one of the Singapore crew did. Thomas Lim, who works on some of the custom figures.
Yeah,
he took one of the aerial bots and bought 4 of them and repainted them as Seekers. And I think he repainted Cyclonus as a Seeker as well.
What's his right leg? Looks like a blue Ironhide.
Yeah, possibly.
No, that could be anything, really.
It could be, and so
that's a shit photo, but
it really is. So it seems like they're. I mean, we've had a homage to particular episodes in the past with the White Prime being, people are saying that's the homage to the. What they call it, Masquerade Prime, where Prime and some of the Autobots pretended to be Menasor.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just get a Stunticon box set there?
Yeah. But so apparently the entire set is going to be a homage to the Unicron trilogy.
Oh, okay. So then would probably be... Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Interesting. Really
so
pointless.
There is a bit of a speculation that Takara is going to produce a set that people are going to want to buy.
Oh my God, I regret starting this line. I really like this. It's these kind of posts that just make me go, "What the fuck am I thinking?"
Yeah, it's so I have Unite Warriors Superion and Menasor, and to be honest, I'm not really sold on the Protector bots. I'll probably buy them if I see them for a good price, but
yeah, I mean, I got them a big bad.
Yeah, so the only other set that I'm interested in out of this is Bruticus.
Oh, I want both versions, all three actually.
Well, so I'm going on my past purchase history, I would end up with a Unite Warriors Bruticus set.
Yeah,
but that's not going to be the case for me. I want the G2 Bruticus that only Hasbro is going to sell as a box set.
Ditto, and I want the Menasor too.
Yeah,
and I want the Defensor.
Do we have a G2 Defensor?
Oh, they'd have to have one in the pipeline, surely.
Surely. So we also don't actually know when the G2 box sets are coming out, except they're already out, aren't they?
No, I think February and March.
Okay.
Or March and April. Oh, I know they're back to back.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And I think Victorian is the third one. So I think it's Menasor, Superion, and then Victorian, or whatever.
All right, so if that's the case, then Victorion's going to be June, I believe. So
yeah,
they might be a couple of months apart.
We have to do something with that too, because I want a box set. I want both.
Yeah.
For shizzle.
I don't know. I just want the G2 Bruticus. He looks amazing.
No, he'll be out. Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking of. Yeah, he'll be out soon.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some third-party toys to finish off. So we've got a few new shots of Fan Toys Willis. It's FT15.
What you talking about?
Nobody knows what Fans Toys is talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got coloured test shots.
Yeah, not a fan of the hovercraft shoes.
Yeah,
no.
I don't know. I don't really mind. What else would you do with his feet?
It just looks disproportionate. Like, I mean, you look at not the first photo in the middle, but the one on the left, directly under.
Oh wow, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he just looks. Yeah, no.
Put some wheels on his.
It just looks like it's.
I was going to say put some wheels on his feet and let them be rollerblades, and then I scrolled down and saw the photo where he's doing the splits, and it's basically like they've already done that. And they've anticipated the rollerblades. They're like, whoa! I'm having trouble standing up.
Looks like he's shoved his feet up Sea Spray's ass. Like it's just. Yeah, no, I'm just. Old Mode looks good.
Old Mode does look good. So I have Make Toys Gundog.
Yeah.
On order. That is being procured for me. Now, so I've decided to go for Make Toys over Fans Toys. I actually don't have many Fans Toys figures. I've got Quake Wave because you know, like that's the Fans Toys figure that most people have.
That's it.
But I've shied away from a lot of Fans Toys stuff because they've been stuck doing their Dinobots for a really long time, and so like to be perfectly honest, Dinobots don't really interest me that much. I'm sorry for all the Dinobots fans listening, but so Fans Toys, I've seen their Dinobots come up and I've just sort of let them go past silently.
Yeah.
Or not so silently because we have to talk about them on the podcast. So
I just had a vision of Grimlock tiptoeing across.
So there's an interesting shot at the bottom of this post on TFW showing Fans Toys Willis going up against Masterpiece Soundwave.
Yeah.
So they've actually like put their figure in a shot with another Masterpiece. He's pretty big.
He is, but it's just going to be car size. So, because remember, look at Soundwave; it's almost like he's bent in half.
Yeah. So Soundwave is not actually that big, that much bigger than the cars.
Oh, he's quite a bit bigger, but he's around Seeker height, isn't he? He'd be close too, because look at
maybe no. Yeah. He's probably about a head shorter
than MP10
than the Seekers, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bruce Willis is the same size as Sphinx, so.
Oh, are we going with Bruce Willis?
Yeah, I'm going to go Bruce Willis. I'm putting it out there.
So they still call him Bruce.
Bruce. I haven't seen that in years.
I think on that bombshell we might move forward.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so G Creation's Wrath. It's their Grimlock, who I believe he's the torso for their Shuriken combiner. Is that right?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for Dinobot combiners. Despite, like, as a kid, like, dreaming that my Dinobots would combine, I don't really want them to now. He's a fairly nice-looking Grimlock, though. Like,
he's a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's done well, but, again, for me, Dinobots just shouldn't combine.
He's got a bit of IDW-ness to his face, I think, as well. IDW's Grimlock has this sort of like faceplate over teeth, and you can sort of see a second dimension to his faceplate as well. But yeah, no, I think he looks alright. If you're into the Shuriken combiner, you're going to buy this. It's about 160 US, so about 25,000 Australian dollars.
I mean, as a standalone figure, I mean, how can you get Grimlock wrong though? Like God. Really? True.
Although I believe if you want to know how to get Grimlock wrong, you may have to just ask the Fall of Cybertron Hasbro designers, right?
Oh, well played, sir. Well played. And look at that nice bit of cheating they've got going on, using his torso as a shield.
I thought he had a separate shield. No.
Look at that.
No, fair enough, yeah.
Oh, look, and he's doing the Iron Man pose. How original.
I haven't spotted.
Oh, look at that! He's sitting it on the back of his. Oh.
I have no idea what's going on.
I'm just scrolling through the images, and it's just like, wow! It's really just looks like MP8.
I don't think I know what the Iron Man pose is now.
It's the one when he's on his knee and he's got his fist on the ground.
I do see that, but it doesn't look like it doesn't look like he's on his knee per se. Like,
Close enough to.
Yeah, close enough to. Yeah, fair enough. Iron Man pose. Iron Man Grimlock. Me Grimlock. Iron Man. Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's move on.
What's 80s Dream Transformers Universe Megatron been up to these days?
That was the worst segue I've seen.
Let's keep that in the recording for its pure crapness.
That's fine. So we haven't actually talked about these guys before, or have we?
What are they?
We may have talked. We may have discussed.
Oh God! What are they?
We may have discussed these guys on a podcast that the two of us weren't on. So, newcomer 80s Dream is putting out its first Transformers figure. It's not actually a Transformer. It's a Voyager-sized model kit of a Megatron from the cancelled Transformers Universe game.
Right.
Now, the I just bit my tongue. I'm sorry. Now, the Transformers Universe game had borrowed very liberally from a lot of different properties to come up with its figures. So, there's hints of Transformers Prime, there's hints of G1, there's hints of movies in the figures as well. While the game was never actually released, we all got very, very good, very detailed looks at the character designs. And so while we obviously haven't had a good enough chance to sort of figure out how one would make these figures convert and transform, so 80s Dream is putting together model kits that give you the look of the characters. And so looking at their version of Megatron, I can definitely see a Transformers Prime influence. Like there's the purple and metal and the head sculpt.
And his cannon.
Look, the cannon, sort of less so.
I think it's a lot of... There's Prime in that cannon.
There's sort of bits all over the place.
Except that it looks like a Rumble pile driver. Painted up like that, but the figure that because it's a small cannon, like it's not the full arm length cannon. It's only the What that actually reminds me of is the cannon that's attached to Mega Steel's Storm Emperor. Okay.
Also known as Granville, also known as Tronus.
Granville.
Look, I was quite happy to buy Mega Steel Granville as a place so I would know where to go and get good fish and chips, chicken and chips. That is what I do when I go out to Granville. I head out to El Jannah.
Oh, how good are they?
I know, El Jannah's awesome, right? And
we have to go there one day.
Yeah, we should totally go there.
Dude.
Can I also just point out that anyone who's not in Sydney listening to this podcast has just gone, what the
hell? Oh, and what are those little pink gherkin things?
I have no idea what they are.
Oh, and the garlic sauce. I so want some.
Now, when you're putting together a figure that doesn't need to transform, you actually do have quite a bit of...
liberty.
Quite a bit of liberty to do as you please. And the rear shot, which was an unpainted grey test shot, the rear shot, which I guess passes for the underside shot, which is important for the figures lately, the rear shot of Megatron's pretty impressive as well. It's sort of got... I assume this version of Megatron is supposed to turn into a jet of some kind.
I was thinking more of a... Well, I can't see any...
Because he's got something that looks like two jet vents on his back.
Well, that could be the rear. That could be the rear of a tank.
Yeah, nobody knows.
I mean, does his feet have tank treads of any kind? No. No one knows.
No, actually, they do.
No.
There are black tank tracks threaded through his legs.
Oh, there you go.
Brad will be disappointed to learn that they do not work because it is a model.
Insert the boo sound effect.
Okay, let's move on. We are close to the end. KFC announced a matte colours version of KFC Transistor and Hi-Fi this week.
AKA Blaster.
Blaster. He is known as Not Blaster.
Not Blaster.
So when KFC Transistor came out, I think the figure was quite admired for its detail and I think its build and its transformation. It's
Wow.
Definitely one of the more popular third-party figures, but it had a shiny candy red finish that everyone just sort of went, well, okay, it'll kind of go with Trax when he arrives.
Yeah.
But no one really warmed to, I think is fair to say. And
how good does it look?
Yeah, no, now that KFC is sold out of all their candy red transistors, they've seen fit to release a repaint of it, which is not candy red, it's not shiny, it's just red, and it looks great.
Oh yeah,
it looks amazing. Did you buy a KFC transistor? Are you regretting your purchase?
No, I did not, but I'm really looking for. Oh wow. Oh, look at that. Look at the alt mode. It's so cute.
I know, it's so good, isn't it?
And he's even got the little trumpets he used when he was fighting Soundwave.
I was wondering what those were for.
Yeah, they fought in a disco. As you do.
Yeah, I've come to realise that there's a lot I don't remember from G1 Transformers.
You're not missing out on much. They just basically sound-waved each other to death.
They out-sound-waved each other. Fair enough.
Yeah, not much.
So he also comes with a rewind. I think he's called Hi-Fi in this case. He's a rather nice-looking rewind.
It is, isn't it? That's a very good looking figure.
I can't quite tell. I think they have an alternate head for him that actually has the More Than Meets the Eye recording camera on the side as well. Looking at the... this might actually be known from the main figure. I'm sorry if this is already something that we know.
Spoiler!
Yeah, so in the last photo on the TFW story, you can see alternate heads for Hi-Fi there, and one of them looks like it's got an extra piece sticking out the side, so that could be his camera for... If you wanted to put this version of Rewind in with your More Than Meets the Eye crew, I probably do.
What was the MP Chrome Dome called again?
Do you mean the Make Toys Cupola?
Yeah.
Cupola. So honestly, I don't really. I have this weird love-hate relationship with Make Toys. Like, I absolutely adore their Trash Talk and Cogwheel.
Yeah.
I've got Gundog on order. But many, many other things that they make, I've looked at them and I've gotten to the point where I've put them into my shopping cart and I've just gone, nah.
But that's the beauty of having so much to choose from, isn't it?
It is, isn't
like,
it?
you can just go, you know what, I'd rather get the third-party Willis over Gundog, done. You know, I want to get this over that, done.
This is true. And they'll all sort of sit together in your masterpiece collection.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And whoever sells more will get the Takara contract, so all is good.
So are you interested in getting yourself a KFC transistor?
I very well may be, man, but I've got to be really selective now with Christmas coming up.
I think I do as well. Let's move on. Let's talk about what we've got coming and what we've procured this month.
Yes.
Tell us, what have you got coming in?
Oh, what have I got? December is Unite Warriors Devastator, Defensor, Road Rage.
Do you reckon Road Rage is going to make it out this month?
I hope so.
I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical because they've only just managed to get tracks out.
And then you got to remember, Red Bumblebee was supposed to be December, wasn't it?
Yeah, we haven't even heard of Red Bumblebee in months, have we?
Yeah, and then January, I think, is Ironhide. Yeah, so obviously the delay is going to trickle on, and everything's going to get pushed back. But yeah, So what else?
So January being Ironhide is the first new Masterpiece mould that we've had. Oh, sorry, no, Trax was a new Masterpiece mould.
Trax, yeah.
The second new Masterpiece mould we've had for a while. So yeah.
Oh, absolutely. What do you think of the new Ironhide?
The Takara one?
Yeah, the wheel, arse wheels.
I think it's fine. No one's going to display their Ironhide facing to the back of their display cabinet. So, speaking of wheel positions, so let's talk about new acquisitions. So, yeah, my two main acquisitions. Actually, no, I've got three for the last few weeks because it's been a couple of weeks since I've been on the podcast. I actually got myself my second Mega Steel figure. So before that, it's kind of weird. Granville, Tronus, Storm Emperor. I don't know what to call him by because everyone still calls him Granville, but the box clearly says Storm Emperor. His designation is MS01.
Right.
But he came out well after Mega Steel's other figure, which is their Blaster, which I can't remember what they called him. But so having gotten the Mega Steel Storm Emperor, I decided to get myself a Blaster because it wasn't until I think Alex showed me some pictures of him and compared him with some of the IDW shots, and I actually didn't realise how much they'd nailed the IDW Blaster design with their Mega Steel Blaster.
Yeah, I was wanting a more chunky figure.
He's
you know what I mean. Like it's hard to describe, like beefy, because he's only what size is he? He'd be equivalent to a deluxe, wouldn't he?
He is a little bigger than a deluxe.
Yeah, so I was just kind of hoping something a bit. Maybe that's just the G1er in me coming out. I suppose. Anywho,
so I gotta say, I'm happy with his size because he's in with my Lost Light crew, and so. I'm okay with that because I actually prefer the bots for the Lost Light crew to be more sort of deluxe size. And I've got a Voyager. I mean, I've got Cloud Rodimus in there at the moment, and I've got Storm Emperor in there as well now. And so he's much better suited as Megatron for a Lost Light crew, even though he doesn't really look like the current IDW Megatron. Like he looks like an older IDW one, but. If someone actually manages to get the current IDW More Than Meets the Eye style Megatron done as a toy, oh my god, that would be amazing. I might actually shoot an email over to 80s World and ask them if they'll do it as a model kit.
Do it as a model kit? Why not?
That could be cool.
It's worth a try. What do you got to lose?
Yeah, absolutely. So other stuff. Actually. I'm trying to think. Actually, I said it was a few weeks since I was on the podcast. I think it was on last week. I've just blocked it out from my memory. So we were talking. I think we were talking last week about the Ocular Max Sphinx, as he was one of my new figures last week. I gotta say, so you were talking about wheel placements. I had an absolute shit of a time getting the wheels into Sphinx's chest. I needed Alex Ching to actually give me. He made a video for me showing how the things fit in. There's a part where you have to fold the wheels over and you have to push it into place, and it felt like it was going to break. So, so thanks to Alex, Sphinx now looks a lot better, and his transformation is held together a lot better. So thank you, Alex.
Nice.
Sphinx is one of my new releases, and I posted a lot of photos of this guy because I really like him. The Mastermind Creations Spartan, also known as Impactor, and damn, he looks nice. He's got a lot of heft to him. Everything about him is chunky. Everything moves the ratchets move with a very stiff click, so he's not going to fall over. There's no loose joints about him.
Yeah, nice.
Really, really happy. I also love the fact that you sound like you're having an orgasm when I say that he's got stiff joints.
The stiff joints are just after the floppy mess that is Combiner Wars.
So I got to say I have two Mastermind Creations reformatted figures now. The other one is the Decepticon Justice Division Voss member, known to them as Cynicus. I gotta say, I didn't really rate him, and if Mastermind was going to get any money out of me in future, Impactor Spartan needed to be amazing, and he's really good. Nice. I was pretty disappointed with Cynicus.
There's not much of him, is there?
No, there's not. It reminds me of Transformers Prime Starscream, where there's nothing to him. Yeah, it's once you've got him into robot mode, it's just you can move his arms around. He's like a doll.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah.
They've still got 3 more to do, haven't they? They're 3 or 4 or 5. 3 or 4.
There's more I think there's more 5 or 6 DJD members.
DJDs, yeah.
I don't know that they've actually said they're going to do them all.
Oh, that's odd. Why would you do?
I don't know. I think they did the one that they could do fairly easily because I think
he turns into an electric chair, doesn't he? Is that am I thinking of the right DJD member?
No, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. So he's the sniper. So like he's got the big cannon and stuff like that. And I thought that was part of his transformation. To be perfectly honest, I display my bots in bot mode, so I don't really know what he turns into. Kind of don't care.
Just took him out, plonk on the shelf. See you later.
Yeah. He's standing on the shelf. He's sort of hunched over at the moment because it's the only way I could make him not fall backwards.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I was pretty disappointed with Cynicus. Impactor needed to be amazing, and he's pretty freaking awesome. I put some photos on the group of Impactor and Springer sort of back to back, and some detailed shots on parts of Impactor that I like and don't like. So, if you feel like it, I'll put a link to it in the show notes, or I'll get Brad.
You just need an Overlord now.
I don't know. Overlord's not so much.
You recreate Garrus 9.
I suppose. So who else would I need to recreate Garrus 9?
Oh God, you need the Sky Stalkers. I think the Predators.
Yeah, that's going to be.
You got Perceptor. You got Cup. You got Iron Fist. Or Physitron.
Actually, I don't have Iron Fist.
Who else was there?
I believe you might though.
Oh yeah, I've got one of those. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Who else? You got the Wreckers, not obviously.
So I got some Wreckers, right? Like I've got Springer, I've got Impactor, I've got Whirl. I've also actually got a third party Top Spin and Twin Twist. Yeah,
they were there. I think Pyro was there too.
Don't have Pyro.
You got ripped apart, I think, at the end.
Yeah. Maybe I could purchase a broken Pyro. It should be a lot cheaper too if we're doing Garrus 9.
Yeah.
I don't know who was the green one that was 2 bots in one.
The green one that was 2 bots in one.
He might not actually be the Wreckers in IDW, but like the original Wreckers crew from the Marvel UK comics. I can't remember his name. I'm going to have to look this up. But yeah. I think if I want to put a Wreckers crew together, I need to sort of make some changes to my display cabinets as well.
Are you thinking like having like landscapes and stuff and?
Maybe not landscapes. I'm thinking so like my display cabinet is I've got two IKEA Kallax 4x4s.
Yeah.
And I really like the sort of the clean look of like putting a figure in there. I've also sort of come to realise that I probably have a few too many figures to just put one per box, and I've seen a few. Believe it or not, there are actually IKEA life hack sites around on the internet, and what they point out is that as you're assembling your shelves, you actually don't need to put all of the dividers in.
So you can just leave like sections.
Yeah, like you can leave a section out, and thus you can have space. A double wide space or a triple.
Yeah,
or you could even have like I could do the top shelf as just like one long shelf.
Yeah, interesting.
So I'm thinking of doing this. Unfortunately, it does mean pulling apart the entire shelves.
Yeah, that's what IKEA is good for, man. Just get your Allen key or your Phillips head screwdriver.
Yeah. I think. Like, you know how these shelves are put together, right? I think if I take the lid off and then I take the sides off, I think the shelves will remain standing.
You could, because they're all secured together, aren't they?
They are.
So you've got to have like no sides, just a shelf.
Well, so in order to get the dividers out, you need to be able to lift them up.
Yeah. Which
means off the top shelf, it's okay. I just need to take the lid off. But then for the subsequent shelves, I need to raise the shelves. Anyway, we might save this for the TCCA IKEA cast. We might try and drag this podcast kicking and screaming back out of the weeds that it's in, shall we? It's pretty. Look, I got to say, there's 2 of us on the podcast. We've managed to go for an hour and 20 minutes so far.
Yeah, we talk a lot of shit, don't we?
I think we're doing pretty well. So, do you have any other figures on order at the moment?
No. And then we go into 2016, and then it's just masterpieces, really.
Yeah, I think...
Oh, you've still got Thundercracker too, that's on its way.
Yeah, Thundercracker's on his way. I've got a Thundercracker from Premium Collect as well, so that should be a... sorry, I keep saying Premium Collect. It's Premium Collectibles. I don't know. I don't know why. I think at some point in the past they actually did go by collect instead of collectibles, but something.
I don't know.
So Premium's Thundercracker is the Hasbro release, so it comes with a coin. So I may have a Thundercracker that I've actually bothered to import from Japan for sale.
For sale. There you go.
We'll see how that goes.
See how that goes.
I think once they start turning up en masse in the next few weeks, we might see a few go up on sale in the group.
I think we will.
But what I also know is that, I mean, so when Premium sold theirs, they were very strict with a one per person limit. Mm-hmm. But I also think their third wave took a while to sell out.
Now, I think everyone was kind of over it by then.
Yeah, I think they were. And so either people for whatever reason may not have wanted to order from them. And so maybe there's some people who still want to get Thundercracker but didn't order from Premium. But I believe the third wave that Premium had, they took like 4 or 5 days to actually sell out. So to me, that sort of says that, you know, the market is fairly saturated with Thundercrackers right now. Maybe in like, you know, 3 or 4 months that might not be the case. There might be some new collectors coming along that will want Thundercracker. We'll see.
I mean, it also depends on how many they ordered on their first and second rounds too.
It does, yeah.
So if they've already ordered 30, second round they've ordered 30, and then the same people keep getting frustrated, they might have just gone and bought elsewhere.
They may have. I mean, to me, the fact that it took their third round so long to sell out, it's just that says to me that maybe many of us who wanted Thundercracker have got him.
I mean, on the plus side, they're okay. Like if there's, I think, you know, they're pretty good at implementing their one per customer rule. So
they are, yeah. And 0 per customer occasionally, but we won't talk about that. We'll see whether or not Brad edits that out of the podcast. We have reached the end of the show, so it is about time to say thank you for joining me, Bill. It's been a pleasure as always.
Always, good sir. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has. It is always lovely to sit down and shoot the shit with you about Transformers.
Absolutely.
I quite enjoy it. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and
thank you for having me.
It's nice to have a nice quiet chat.
It is nice, isn't it? Wouldn't mind a cup of tea right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, cool. Let's end the show. So thank you, everyone, for listening. Off the Shelf is the voice of Transformers Collectors Club Australia. You can find our website at transformerscca.com. You'll find links to the podcast, the Facebook group, the YouTube channel, the Twitter account, and if we've come up with something else by the time this podcast goes out, that will be linked on the site as well.
Tinder.
You know what? I'm actually going to pitch. I'm going to pitch Brad, and I'm pitching him right now as he's listening to this, as he's editing. I'm going to pitch Brad the idea of having a TCCA Instagram account.
Oh my God, Instagram!
How good would that be?
That'll be awesome.
Look, it could be pretty good. We would need to obviously get permission from people.
Jetfire. Hashtag.
That's actually a really good idea. I should just get lots of photos of Jetfire.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I think if members would be happy for TCCA to post their photographs on Instagram, then you know, I think it would be nice.
I think that's the good thing. I mean, TCCA does have a good group of people. So I mean, then again, I mean, you're putting it out there for the internet to see. So really, if you don't want people using your photo, don't post it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot of very talented guys putting together their photographs of their figures, and I think we actually didn't really go through post of the week this week, but there's been someone who's been putting together some very, very intensely processed photographs of Masterpiece Ultra Magnus and Sideswipe and Metroplex. And his scenes have been set on like an alien world during an attack and a snowstorm and stuff like that. And, the effort that he's put into on those photos, and I'm really sorry that I can't remember his name. I kind of want to say that it was Jack New, but I don't think it was Jack. I think it was one of his mates. I'm stalling because I'm slowly clicking through.
What I'll do is I'll start reading the back of the Blue Yeti box while you search.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, look, that kind of stuff, it would be awesome to put up on Instagram if we can.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back with another episode of Off the Shelf next week. And yeah,
That's Jason.
Yeah, I'm Jason.
Yeah, I'm Bill.
All right. Goodbye.
Thank you for downloading this latest episode of Off the Shelf, the voice of the Transformers Collectors Club Australia. For further information, check out Facebook, where we have our Off the Shelf page, hit like, or even check out the Transformers Collectors Club Facebook group. Any and all feedback is more than welcome. You can send email to transformerscca@gmail.com or head on over to iTunes and leave us a review there. Also, Podbean have a review section where you can rate us, and that way we get out to more people. Till all are one.